Welcome back to my channel, Star Booze.
Ron Howard at last speaks up against Jim Nabors. Ronald William Howard was born Howard in Duncan on March 1, 1954. Ronald William Howard of Oklahoma was enmeshed with the entertainment industry since escorting with the actor Rance Howard's son and Jean Spiegel Howard Young, an actress growing up in studio lots. Ron's soundstage has become more personal understanding of the field that would come to characterize his early exposure to the performing arts wasn't fate. It wasn't just happenstance. Ron's career started at a young age. He became well known nationwide as a young performer, captivating audiences his genuineness, attractiveness, and natural appearance on screen. At the age of 6 on the Andy, he performed Opie Taylor. Griffith portrays a part that might eventually as famous as Opie on American television, the inquiring wide-eyed son of the wise Howard, the Mayberry sheriff. Turned into a tourist fixture in residences all throughout the country, his connection to Andy Griffith was not only a professional, it was based on mentorship and paternity, creating one of the most lovable on- and television off-screen relationship history. After the Andy Griffith show concluded, Ron Howard kept performing during his teenage years, which culminated in Richie, his next signature role on Happy Days. Cunningham, the classic all-American boy of the 1950s, the program was a hit, and Howard's depiction of the morally upright Ernest Rich served as the series anchor, providing it genuineness of feeling in the midst of the ridiculous actions of other characters similar to Fonza. Even though this role brought him Howard all the time, kept a silent humility that never allowing fame to interfere with his grounded manner. But possibly the most noteworthy on Howard's professional background is not his actment as an actor, but his smooth and incredible change behind the camera. While a lot of kid stars had trouble with difficulties and demands of celebrative reimagining, Howard silently and assiduously transformed himself into a filmmaker who was visionary and serious. His first film as a director was The Grand Theft Auto on a shoestring in 1977, from which he also courted his career as a filmmaker flourished. And Thea, former kid performer, quickly became regarded as one of Hollywood's finest narrators during the ensuing decades. Ron Howard oversaw a breathtaking collection of both financially and critically acclaimed popular movies, including his 1984 fantasy Tom Hanks with his partner in the romantic film Splash Darrow. Hannah was an unexpected success and signaled Howard's promotion to major director, and he did the same with Cocoon, Parenthood 1989, Willow 1988, and 1985, each demonstrating his capacity to manage various genres, including science fiction and from romantic to poignant family dramas. Howard went on in the 1990s and 2000s to solidified his standing with Oscar-nominated movies such as 1995's Apollo 13, an emotionally charged and tight recounting NASA's imminent mishap, and A Lovely in 2001. He won the Academy Award for Best Director and Best in 2006. Ron Howard assumed the Da Vinci Code's directing challenge, a mystery thriller movie that was based on Dantas Amos Brown's best-selling book. The book has already sparked a significant commotion around the world with its contentious depiction of religious themes of another reality and secret society's Christian historical interpretations. Consequently, the movie adaptation weighs a substantial quantity of opposition prior to its publication, especially from Roman Catholic churches and other religious organizations. The movie was attacked by organizations for what they believe to be its falsification of religious information and the possibility often to cut trust. In spite of this intense criticism and demands for boycotts, Ron Howard's guidance was able to preserve the film's captivating and suspenseful story while striking a balance between the sensitive nature of the movie's content, a blend of rapid-fire narrative assassinating riddles, and the celebrity power of Tom Hanks, who portrayed the main character Robert Langdon, enthralled spectators worldwide. Eventually, the Da Vinci Code was a huge hit at the box office, making more than $750 million worldwide. That the movie's financial success was confirmed. Howard's standing as an accomplished shedderock, capable of managing intricate tales that combine historical tension with and drama, enhancing his outstanding directorial achievements. Ron Howard, alongside a long-standing producing partner Brian Grosser, was a founding member of the highly influential movies and television shows Imagine Entertainment, is a producing firm. This business was founded in the late 1980s, but thriving over time emerged as a major force in Hollywood for generating a broad range of critically appraised and financially successful projects. Imagine Supposing Entertainment had a crucial part in forming contemporary narrating movies and television series spans a range of genres, including drama and biopics, thrillers, and comedies. Under the leadership of Howard and Grasser, Imagine created renowned pieces like either Academy Award-winning work, Beautiful Mind Award for the Best TV Show and Film. Arrested Development has received recognition for its distinctive writing and humor. This production company gave Howard permission to increase his impact in the entertainment sector, not just as a director and a visionary producer who fostered a variety of creative Howard skills and endeavors. In 2015 went back to leading The Adventure in the Heart of the Sea as a drama film, film adaptation of the terrifying factual tale that served as Herman's inspiration. The classic book by Melville, Moby Dick, the catastrophic 1820 sinking was examined in the film of the Essex whale ship by a massive sperm. A subsequent conflict between the crew and the whale for survival, even though they are visual amazing and emotionally gripping movie. Film had a mixed review from, however, both audiences and critics. Howard's leadership was commended for expressing the majestic scope and unadulterated human. The story's drama highlights themes of bravery, perseverance, and the strength of the project's nature, which highlighted Howard's sanguine curiosity about mixing history accounts with captivating narrative, which further solidifies his willingness as a filmmaker to take up difficult and ambitious tasks. Topics that follow up on his previous run's achievement with the Da Vinci Code. Inferno was directed by Howard in 2016. The third Robert Langdon movie. This television show is based on Don Brown's books. Sequel, which came after the main character Ash discovered a dark conspiracy connected to a well-known literary masterpiece by Dante Alighieri. In the movie The Divine Comedy, Tom resuming his role, Hanks went on to the combination of intellectual puzzles with exciting action scenes. Inferno, however, did not accomplish the same praise from critics as its predecessors. Was still valued by followers of the franchise for its globe-traveling. Howard's elements of mystery and adventure-going participation in this series showed his dedication to adjusting intricate books into captivating movies and maintaining a well-liked film universe. In 2018, Ron Howard adopted an entirely new various kinds of projects by overseeing Solo, a Star Wars story as an independent work movie within the vast Star Wars. This film examined the universe history of Han, the adored character. One of the most recognizable franchises is Solo, characters that Harrison first depicted in Ford Howard's adaptation. Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo, at an early age, with Emilia Clarke and Woody Harrelson performing gentle supporting parts in the manufacture of Solo, was particularly tumultuous. Took the place of the original Phil Lord and Christopher the Director's Miller halfway through the filming process because of creative distinctions with Lucasfilm. Despite these obstacles, Howard was able to see the movie through to its conclusion. Present a narrative that examined Honda, the beginnings of Solo's early romance, and his transformation into the roguish smuggler. Despite the fact that the movie obtained conflicting feedback and had a small success at the box office in comparison to other Star Wars films, received accolades due to its action's high output, quality scenes, and captivating performances. This movie included another important franchise to the director Howard portfolio, showcasing his adaptability as well as the ability to manage huge-scale November's effect blockbusters. Howard declared in 2017 that he will be instruct in his initial directing course. On November 24, 2020, the drama film directed by Howard Netflix released Hillbilly Elegy. The movie is inspired by the autobiography of the J.D. Vance's same name, which was modified by Vanessa Taylor for the film The Glyn, the film's Academy Award nominee. The movie features Amy Adams and Close garnered a lot of bad feedback. Howard started receiving criticism in March 2021, shooting 13 Lives Alive, a survival drama movie based on the rescue of Tam Luang Cave. 2018 saw its release in a few. July 29, 2022, in theaters by United Artists started releasing their work and streaming on August 5, 2022. Prime Video. The movie got mostly good reviews. Reviewers' assessments of Netflix in 2022 purchased from Paramount Films' Theatre on Shrinkage, which will indicate for the first time Howard directed a survival thriller and an animated film. Jude Law and Anna de Amos in Eden. The private life of Ron Howard has been characterized by an enduring and affectionate heritage to the woman he married. Cheryl Allegiance 7, 1975, December 23, 1953, was Cheryl Alley's birthday, and the partnership between the two has covered a number of decades, exposing a steady and encouraging collaboration amid the frequently busy and difficult field of Hollywood. And their union started when both were comparatively youthful, and throughout time together they have raised a family. Ron's career progressed from childhood actor to a well-known director, and Cheryl Alley, the producer, has been a consistent being on Ron's side, offering a solid base for durability and strength that has surely played a part in his and individual welfare. Their marriage is frequently used as evidence, expressing unwavering devotion and love in an sector where connections are regularly under harsh public criticism and pressures. During their marriage, they have encouraged one another's endeavors and kept up a tight-knit family life while from the limelight together. Ron Howard and Cheryl Alley are parents of 4 kids. Important area of their lives, they offers happiness and contentment beyond their accomplishments. In the workplace, 2 daughters are among their offspring who are descendants of their father's steps into the entertainment industry, Paige Howard and Bryce Dallas Howard. Born in 1981, Brian Dallas Howard has positioned herself as a notable renown for her work as a director and actor in big-budget motion pictures and television shows. Her achievements are frequently viewed as an expansion of the atmosphere for creativity. Paige Howard, who was raised by her parents, has additionally sought acting, developing her own work in television and movies. The family dynamism has been defined by reciprocal assistance and motivation, with Ron and Cheryl as fostering their kids' abilities while giving them autonomy. The Howards decided to forge their own roots respect privacy, and frequently maintain familiar suits that are not widely known. Such rather than the caliber of their connections and the significance of solid family ties over many years, the Jim and Ron Howard's relationship, two well-known neighbors from there, is still vintage American television, veiled in mystery and conjecture. Both performers were adored for their parts on The Andy Griffith Show, as a television program that got ingrained in culture and started their careers into the spotlight. But their relationships behind the scenes, much more intricate than through a myth and camaraderie that spectators may experience, believe that Ron Howard has at last elected to end his length of quietness regarding Jim Nabors shedding Gilliam a nation of the actual nature of their dynamic that reveals emotions and events things had never been discussed in public. Prior to Ron Howard's portrayal of Opie Taylor on the program has long been recognized for his openness and consideration when considering his past. However, in the case of Jim Nabors, the performer who portrayed Gomer Pyle stayed mostly quiet, frequently avoiding inquiries and guiding discussions from private information. The rationalisms this quiet stemmed from a complicated combination of work-related stresses and Ron Howard's personal disappointments clarified that even though Jim Nabors was adored by many for his charming and silly character on screen behind the cameras, he was actually rather different. Someone who was challenging to work with. His actions were occasionally malevolent, as Howard stated out in particular instances of how the attitude of the neighbors generated a poisonous working conditions. Despite Jim's Nabors was commended for his ability to make people laugh, and he added charm to Gomer Pyle, those near the factory. There was a Howard's darker side. Neighbors may be cunning and crow, occasionally under meninquicas and establishing divisions on the set. This huge disparity between Neighbors' public perception and personal behavior resulted in numerous confrontations behind the scenes. Ron Howard, a young actor at the time with period during which these encounters occurred, he found it especially disturbing that the picture displayed on TV concealed a strong animosity that was challenging for him to comprehend as a young dictionary. Ron Howard disclosed that the poison went beyond straightforward neighbors. Personality conflicts are said to participated in actions that made the workplaces hectic and stressful. Howard discussed the negative effects of impacted both his personal and professional life development throughout those early years in Hollywood, rather than feeling encouraged to be the actors and crew who ought to have felt like a family. But Howard frequently felt alone and in conflict with nearby residents who used said significant impact on the set because of his seniority and popularity. It wasn't simple to break this stillness. Ron Howard's long-term decision, he was afraid of criticism and retribution because concerns about a cherished person who Howard had just recently passed away, outlined how decades passed before Hetto reconciled with his own encounters and to acknowledge the value of being truthful even when it may be awkward or contentious. Be at last expressing his viewpoint, Howard wants to create a more detailed and image of Jim Nabors that recognizes his abilities but also does not back down from the danger heckouts this to others around him. Ron Howard's disclosure has caused a revived fan interest and discussion of television and the Andy Griffith Show for both historians. It questions theft and recollection of the show's exclusive cast and draws attention to the frequently hidden challenges in the production process. Entertainment. Howard's bravery in speaking up inspires other professionals in the field to share their own unseen tales to promote a transparent culture and responsibility. Howard's choice to violate his quiet about Jim Nabors provides a much needed and much anticipated look-back scenes in which the sharp contrast is revealed between the public image of the neighbor and his actual personality, demonstrating how his actions had an effect on those who collaborated with. By doing this, Howard not only pays tribute to his personal experiences while simultaneously making a contribution to a more comprehensive comprehension of the complexity of the entertainment industry and its cost occasion those caught in its